Yeah, good morning, everybody. The reason why I have kept up with the updates of this trade is for us to be on the right side of trading and to be confident. I need not to go to the big view of Euro USD, so we know exactly where we are. What exactly we want to do is what I want you to see. As we can see that this is actually correcting with 4 of the major. But there's something I want us to see, which will be an eye opener to where this is going to correct to. I told us that this is wave A of the correction, and this is leg B of the correction, and we're going to have a C of the correction. So, and after the C of the correction, then we are going to come down once more. And coming down once more, then it's going to be, okay, are we going to run all with 5 all down? You know, are we going to truncate it? It's another thing entirely. But where we expect it to get to, we'll do that. But for now, we should concentrate on going to C. Now, here is the trick. If you remember, I told you, if you're not going to know the extent where this wave will correct to upwards here, to run like C, I said you will take from, let me bring out those things again fast, because I want to touch on so many things today. Let me take out some of this drawing for us to see. Let me take out some of this drawing for us to see. Some of them are actually done. You know, I've done with some of them. We don't actually need some of them. So we can have a very clear drawing. Okay. Let me take out let me take out this one as well. Because I can still come back to it for you to see what I'm about doing clearly. Now, I told us that this is where wave C stalled, and also I'm not confused. Now, 3-5 eventually ended here. That's what I said. 3-5 eventually ended there. We had 1, 2, and beginning of 3, and all 3 is done. So what we want to do is we want to finish with 4. We want to finish with 4, which is now very clear to us. We want to finish with 4 major. We have done A, and we have done A, we have done B, and what to finish. So now, here is the thing that I told us. This is with 2, and this is with 5. And I said, what we expect is a retracement of with 2 to with 5. We expect a retracement of 3 point. That is the 8.2. This is where you have 38.2. I mean, you should not go beyond 38.2 this point. 38.2, and not beyond 50. What is the major correction? So that is the extent up there. So let me do this, okay? And let me look for something to clone where we are going on 38. So for us to see. So this is where eventually you expect this thing to run to this point. Taking this as 3.5, end of 3.5, and beginning of 2. Now, also end of 2 here, and end of 3.5 here. So we have 38 and we have 50. So always target 38.2. Now, but things can change. Why would things change? This level can change. The reason why it can change, this is what will dictate. Now, if we say this is the end of 3.5, which is the end, the lowest, to draw this, what if this place goes below this point to create a new low? So in that case, a new low will now decide, because it's still part of 3 correction. So a new low will now decide this eventually. So if with the first wave A, which is the lowest of wave A, does not decide it, then wave B is the only thing that can decide it. If wave B goes lower than the wave A, as you can see in both extended and expanded, extended and running flat, in that situation, if that is what it's going to get, then this will change. Those are the conditions, it will change. So you must have that at the back of your mind. Now, let's now concentrate on this wave A. We have to concentrate now on this wave A. Let me change this color because we are within correction, so I don't want to, so that we now know that, okay, we are dealing with that correction. We have ended that we are going to be using this a whole lot to the reason why I do this is for you to follow. Otherwise, I would just probably would have just done my analysis and tell you, okay, this is what it is. And but when you see the way I do it, that would help you also everything. You must know whatever you see, structure will win at the end of the day. All these things that we are seeing is, you know, to play on our emotion, and eventually, you know, it will happen. When this correction was happening here, the same thing did happen. So when we felt that, okay, oh, we should buy, we are going to buy, eventually the price made it down. You know, the price made it down. And we add a 3 swing here. This is the first swing up here, 1, and the second swing and the third swing here before this. We are going to have the same thing. From this low to this high green here, that's the first swing, the second swing to this low, and the third, which is C to this low, and the last leg of C of 3.5. Now, this can be end of 3.5, or B wave cannot give us the end of 3.5. That is what I'm telling us. But we must know where we started. We started from here. Based on field retracement, we know exactly around this point, we are going to see reaction, and we are now seeing the reaction. And these are where big boys tries to play on you when you don't know structure and how to navigate to what structure is telling us. Now, let's see the inside of this and the possibility. Now, looking at this really, we know that from the beginning of this wave here, at that point to this point, it's 100. So in terms of retracement, we should expect retracement to pull beyond. Okay, before I do that, maybe I should just do it on in a lower time frame for you to see better. I will go to the lower time frame for you to see that. Okay. Now, having done this, the first thing I want you to see here is let's look at the price action, the weekly price action here. So you can see that for me, the price action here that I'm seeing here does not tell me that we want to change trend. That's the first thing on the weekly time frame. Look at the bearish candle. It's something that tells me we will still continue the trend. That candle here, look at it, almost the candle at the top and at the below, sorry, the wick at the top and below this candle is almost the same thing in length. That is the first thing that tells me that I don't think that they have finished their trend. This is not what you will see when the trend is finishing. But then, because it's at the level of one important level of fib, extension of the old wave, then we might see reaction. So again, this candle that follows, if we are going to change and continue to change trend and move further up, I would have expected that this candle will change its head. The head will come up here with this pit up here, and the tail will be down. And that formation here tells me that, oh, the story is that we are correcting. And the same thing that it did here, look at it, the same formation of candle on the weekly is the bit down, and this one tells me that we're still correcting. So if we go to the daily, so it's still the same thing that you can see here, you know, trying to correct, no proper price action, but you can see if you want to, okay, this is a morning star. For some people, the configuration is of a morning star that is going up, but it's a correction really. So if you look at the larger time frame, it's a correction. I'd explain all these things, but what will first tell you what is going to happen is the structure itself and the fib relationship that you have at those levels before you begin to now look at the price action. So you expect to see something based on the fib level that you expect reaction, and that's the first thing you have to first, okay, this fib level, how important it is, that's the first question you have to answer. What kind of price action am I getting here to now know, oh, yes, I think it's going to play, you know, or they're going to now make nonsense of that fib level. Now, we anticipate a whole lot of time to say, okay, we don't want to miss levels and all of that. Now, look at here, leg A, this is the daily candle time frame now. This is leg B. And I'm telling us that this leg B is not done yet. Now, the candle also formation here, look at this candle here, look at this candle here, still correcting on the lower time frame here, and look at this bullish candle here. So now you can see the wick on both ends almost equal. And the candle here also on the daily, I'm not seeing any candle that tells me that they want to change gear. So the only thing I can see here is that they are still correcting. You understand? They are still correcting. So on the daily time frame, I can't see that the buy is confirmed, even though I know that the next direction is to buy. But at what point? So because if you are buying at this level, what is going to happen to you? We're going to address that in a minute. So now, still on the daily time frame now, let's just stop there and let's do the analysis of what and what we expect. Now, what do we expect? In terms of correction of with A to B, zigzag, flat. That is what we expect. Zigzag and flat. Now, and price will not stay in the middle. Price will finish correction because structure will always prevail. Now, I want us to be very cautious in our approach to trade. Now, if it's going to be a zigzag structure, 61 is done with, 50 is done with, 76 is broken, 85 is here, which is directly a bit above this blue, penetrated blue line, is done with. 90 also has been breached. If price is going to stall somewhere and make a move, it shouldn't have even sent weak beyond 90. That is one thing you must get. If they tell you, oh, maybe it's going to break it slightly and all of that. If this breaks something slightly and price return, I know that they're still coming back there. They're still going to go low. That's what they are telling me. And all this move to the upside for me is they're just faking you, because these has told the big boys that, see, we are not done down here because we are broken 90 to the downside. We are not done. So it shouldn't just break it. So because they are still correcting. Now, where can they now get to? Because it cannot be a zigzag anymore since 85 is broken, and it cannot be a regular flat anymore since 90 is broken. So it can only be two. The first is what is a running flat, and the second possibility now is what is an extended flat. So now, in terms of wave B to C, so where would that leave us? That is what we are going to see, where this is A has ended here. Now, I'm just saying it for you to know that don't be, so from the beginning of A to the end of A. So let's look at the retracement and those levels that we can trade, that I would want you to put your trade. Now, if we are changing trend at times, if we are changing trend and assuming that this marks the end of a trend and we want to change trend, you know, at times a wave may first go up, another wave will come down to break the top before sending another one down. In that kind of situation, if it's going to happen like that, the top might be broken, but it does not go beyond 1.11, which is 111. It does not go beyond that in that situation, because it's not a correction. They are starting probably a new trend. So price may come up here, break the top, and when it breaks the top, the new trend might not even, the top might not be broken for more than 111, and the new trend will now start from there. You're counting from there. But by the time it's getting to 123, 127, it's telling us that this is correction. It's telling us this is what? This is correction. So now we know that it can either be extended flat or a running flat. In an extended flat, B wave can be 123 or 141. So in a running flat, it will only be 123. So we must get that. So if extension here should pull to 141, then you know that it is what? It is extended flat. Nothing but extended flat. If you should stall at 123, then you should know that it is nothing but a running flat that you're going to get at the end of the day. It's going to be a running flat. So now, how do we now do that? So our 123 is here. For me, and we want to put one leg here, which is 123. Let me change the color now. So that is where I want to actually set my trade at this level, 123. Then if you do 127, you might miss it because of spread. It's very close. Then if that level is breached, I want to come to 141, which is at this level. And that will be the last level, the price. That will be the last level for price, 141.4. I don't expect this correction to get to 161, except if I'm counting wrong and I'm blind. And if you are blind, once you get to 161.8, then you should know that you're supposed to have taken your trade out of it long time because the correction has failed. Now, this is the extent of what I will expect. Now, this or this. This is 123, this is 141. For me, I'd rather put my big lots here and here. This might fail, but for now, this is most likely of the level. This level is most unlikely, but this is the most likely level. And when that happens, something will now change. Something will change. Once that happens, what will now where the C leg will now get to, for me, will start from here, either from here or from here. But let's consider this place as a new level of 3.5, because this will now be a new level of 3.5 and not this level anymore because of the wave B had run below it. So in that kind of situation, and our extension tools will come in handy for us to know where it's going to be. So it will now start from here, run to A, and back to the where A started from to get to 123 fib of C. So 123 is going to be here. So now it will now change this one. And it will now make our 123 to be here at this level. So let me perforate it to make a clear distinction. So that will be the first level. Now, I'd said before that we expect C to get to 1.10800 or 814, but that will now change, and B will now get to 10,246 instead of 10,814, because this one had failed, and which I think it will fail. This is not the structure I expect. I expect this thing to break this low, because I've said it. Now, if it now comes down to be an extended flat, so in that situation, it will now be, we'll pick it from here, of 141 to A, back to B. So the 123 in this case will now move a bit further up. So 123 in that case, we actually fall on this purple line here. Let me take this purple line away. Let me take this purple line away. It will now fall on that purple line. So, which will now be 111,186. 11,186, it's almost like 300 pips, 30 pips above here. So 30 pips above here, or 50 pips below this line. 50 pips below, 30 pips above will now be what it will now tell us. So the extent this one is going to go low with the side. This cannot be a good level for price to return, and I can't see any price action, trade price action. That is what I'm telling us. So we can see that the levels we want to buy, that I will be willing to put my big lot size is at these levels, based on what I can see, and put my stop loss very tight below here at 1.01430. That is where I want to put my stop loss. I don't expect price in that place. So even if I am putting my bigger lot size here, how many pips below it? I'm just like about 94, 95 pips. About 94, 95 pips. But if I'm going to go to 141, how many pips am I trying to risk from this level? It's about 20 pips that I'm risking from that level. So you should know how we do this thing. But in case nobody is watching and you don't see what the price is doing, and you don't, I rather want to buy from here with my bigger lot size than come here, somewhere here and say, okay, I'm seeing a price action to buy. And eventually, when you now do that, price will now go down from this level. You can say, okay, maybe it's good to, because that's made a low here, then price will now push all the way down to this level by about 200 pips, which is possible. And you are now confused because you are seeing price action. So if your hand is itching you and you are impatient and all you can see is a buy from this level, I would rather say go with your buy cautiously with a very, very, very the lowest lot size and put your bigger lot size below here, because I think from what I know about structure and all of that, we are going to have a delay and we're going to be impatient to have enter from here and they will take us out. They can take us out before coming down here and here. But these are the two levels that price can return. That's what I'm telling us. And when that happens, they're going to go all the way up here. So they are going to do all that nonsense here. I don't think they're going to buy this week. Something tells me they are not able to buy this week. They are giving you this configuration to fool you to buy, and they will still push it down. But then we are not interested in the sell because it's dangerous to sell. We want to buy, but trying to now, we are going to be more patient with the price. And if you can take all that risk, your very small lot size, the lowest to buy from any side, when if you think you're picking a signal to buy from any of this level. So that's what I'm saying. Now, if you now look at what we have said and what we have done on the bigger time frame, let's go back to the weekly. So the bigger time frame, this is the level we are coming to. This is 123 here. If I push it to the monthly time frame, what can we see? So it's still here. So you can still see this correction. Then if people don't know, you don't know how to read correction and corrective level, you think, oh, they have done this now. The sell is pushing below here. So now I think they want to sell. They are not selling. They're not selling yet. They are not selling yet. The price is just touching this area that it will turn, you know, and where we had this price action at first. So price is still going to go all the way to these levels around this zone here before now finally going down. And after now going down, this might take about a month, if not more than a month from below here, to do all this before they come down once more. And maybe by December, we'll now begin to now change trend. That is what I can see. I'm telling us that if dollar is going to be weak, it's going to be weak temporarily. That is what I'm saying from structure. Dollar is going to be weak temporarily. You know, after we complete this low from the structure and move up for about 2 months or thereabout, and thereafter, dollar is going to come back the last time to finish with 5. And where we expect with 5 to get to, told us in some of the videos that I did that with 5 we'll be ending. I think I may have taken that out. With 5 will be ending, yes, here, where we have the blue line. That's where it will be ending. So the price will be almost be touching that place, probably some few pips away from it before they now take it back, which is C. This C, the green C. I've done that before. So the price return from 23, 123. So that's some 273 pips away from it or thereabouts. And if the price gets to 141, that would be about 226 pips away from the low that we expect price to eventually make a return. So we will all wait for all of that to unfold. I want to believe that we got that. So from the price action, the daily price action, I don't see anything that tells me we are ready, but we are almost there. That's the thing, we're almost there. And from the 4-hour price action too, that is where you can get it. I can't see any clear. All these things, you can call it manipulation, you can call it to make it a bit more messy for you to read whatever is happening here. You know, all these moves, there's no clear price 4-hour price action down here. And this one I can see, you can see all just like the green with the bit down here and with this one up here, still tell me that the price will still want to go a bit below. And this also the same thing that they're going to, of course, this one I told you, the bit up and the bit down, and this one now formed. Now, this one forming for you, it's also speaking to us that, see, you can see the bit up and all of that, it's the recipe for correction to the downside. And this also for me, though they are giving you a very big engulfing candle, and you think they're going to go up, I don't think so. Now, these may be coming down slowly, and you think it's a correction that you're now doing 85 of the old correction, and that will be wrong. That will be wrong. That will be wrong. If you want to do 85 or 76 of this entire correction, it's up to you to buy from there, because you might be a bit impatient. I'm still not convinced that I want to buy at this level. Price may even push higher. I'm still not convinced. I think they're just going to do all that rubbish. But in case you want to do it, just allow it to come down a bit more low to take your 0.0. I'm not going to call that. I'm not going to call that. But I know that the direction eventually is to the upside. I'm not going to call that, but I think there's still a big gulf below, and that is huge to come here. It's big because the structure is not completed per se. Below, it's not for me. It's not for me. Let's see. It's not for me. From this level to this level is big. That's about 200 feet. It's big. You want to read this as a move, I want to read correction. I don't see that now. I won't call it, honestly. I won't call it, but at the same time, I'm not saying that you should not pick. But they're going to pick. They're going to pick. Maybe you should just come down to 76 here, or around this blue line to say, okay, maybe try to touch there. And if that happens, I'll be fine with whatever happens from there. And that's what I still encourage to do, because that's instead of 200 pips, it's still trim it down to the 155 pips or 156 pips. And even with just 0.01, you'll be seeing like $16 against you, you know. So that for that. Now, one thing you gain from these SO is what I said, how low, with 3.5 can be if this and this will now pull lower, will change your fib level up here based on your B wave. You put that at the back of your left hand, don't forget that. Now, let's look at AUD-USD, also in the same thing, AUD-USD, to see what AUD-USD also is up to, something similar. When we look at AUD-USD, something similar on the AUD-USD. So the price also had gotten to this point. Let me pick another for it. The price also had gotten to this point on the weekly candle. So for it to get there, it is not where I want to engage this price also. I need this price also to go. So AUD-USD and USD and EUR-USD are doing the same thing for me. So I'm not comfortable, with what they are doing, and I don't think I want to buy at any of those levels because of what knowledge is telling me. And you don't want to compromise what you know. Seeing this price action here, B will not just stop in the middle. B will not just stop in the middle. I expect B to go a bit further down. It's almost there. So the same way, I don't want to. I'd rather put my big lot size at 1.123 and 141 extension to expect price to just pick me. And from there, I want to go up. If price is going to make us feel a whole lot of tension around this area, a lot of tension around this area, that's what I'm seeing here. Then we can have 4-hour correction here, really, and where this would turn this to an A, make this one a B, and give us a C that will extend higher. I'm just saying is I can't decide for price really. I can't decide for price. It's gonna be a small C really. It's gonna be a small C. It's gonna be a small C. That may happen. It may happen. And the price will now send itself low to finish B. It's not impossible. And they can change anything at any time in the middle there, the way they want it. And also, they can do all of that, but I just don't want to. With this daily candle going inside this correction, if it close this way, I see more down. More down. This is what it is, just about finish of what they are doing, and I would expect this thing to get to this level here. Just the same thing. It won't just stop in the middle for me. I will expect price these two get to this area. My stop loss will be around that area. I'll be watching what price does at this level. I'll be watching what price does at that level. So this is my 123. Of course, price will just get 127. So and this is my 141. These are the levels. Now, this other level here, I'll just put something there. This level here of 141, I'll just put something there that I don't expect price, to stall here really. I don't expect price action because we're not starting a new trend. It's only when you are starting a new trend that you expect price to engage here and So it's the same thing. AUD USD and Euro USD are telling me the same thing. So I still need more downside here. I need more downside here. These legs, they're going to waste a whole lot of time, but eventually they're going to come to this area here. I'll be looking for that. I think let's not waste our money. Now, interestingly, let's see something. Let's see one. Let's look at another one, because we have looked at Euro USD and AUD. Let's look at pound and USD. Let's look at pound USD. Let's look at pound. So, pound USD. Now, looking at pound USD, okay. Now, what we are seeing on pound USD is completely different. So that is different. Okay, that is completely different on pound USD. So let me try to run that. I've not done anything here really. So let's look at pound USD. Pound USD level. So this is pound USD. Pound USD at that level. I'm just marking it. And the pound USD at this level of the first week. But you don't have to do the same thing. You must know that. But so let's look at pound USD at this level. Pound USD, this is A. That is A. That is A. We need to have a B. Okay. B. And a C. The C. I think by the time I do this one, I've looked at 3 examples and USD pairs. Now, so this is A. They run up. They are all at different levels. So this one has broken low for pound USD. Pound USD and broken. Let me just put it precisely where instruction here. So now we're going to go to C. Now with this pound USD come from beginning of A to the end of A. Yeah, beginning of A to the end of A, exactly at 141. Can you see now? So this one actually touched 141. It didn't start at 123. It touched here at 141. This is one that I can say for me as I'd finished the structure down. So all this one can do is to come down to kiss the low one more time, or to do 76 or 82. Of all the Europeans, this one too, for me, it's the one I would say, oh, I'm sure that, okay, it's done. It's done with the low here. So I rather want to put my stop loss very tight below 141. I am not expecting that 161 at 1.8. I'm not, because this one has ticked all the levels of field retracement. So if anything that this can do, if anything at all, is to come to 123 again, that level again, you know, for the second support before going up. That is what I can only see here. So of all, if you are itching and your hand is itching, this is one you can buy from here. All these, yes, this is one you can buy from here. And when we buy from there, where do you want to go to? Because it's now an extended flat. It's nothing but extended flat that one has given me. There's an extended flat. I will be trying to from this low to this high to the beginning of A. Now, so this is the level 123. This is the level that I want to exit this trade. That's the level I want to exit this trade. So my C will be around this level. So, and that will be how many pips if I'm from here to my level. If I enter here, that will be about 1,032 pips, and from where it has moved itself would be about 1,105 pips. So you can still bag 1,000 pips to the upside from here. That's huge. That is huge. That is huge. 1,000 pips is huge. Now, that is the only one I can say it's ready. So for me, if I want to engage this, and I want to find an entry here, so from this level, so when you go to the lower time frame, you can pick this better. Let me change purple. The top also to purple. Purple. This is black. So that purple now, let me now try to clone it. So if I clone that, so we want to see where we want to engage this. So if I want to engage this and buy, I want to buy from 76 and 55. You might miss 85, but you want to buy from 76. So in that kind of situation, buying from 76, it's up here, this level. You can see price action, buy, and at this level, it's showing the same configuration as Euro USD, but because I know it has completed structure to the downside, it's more comforting for me to buy this one, rather push the other ones to the low, buy from here and wait for my price to touch the other one below. I don't want to multiply my risk buying from any level. So this is the only one I can buy from this level. And why I will wait for other ones to touch lower. That is what I will do. That's what I will do. So that's how I do. So it's only pound USD I want to do. Now, having done that, let's quickly move to the yen pairs and see what is possible. The yen pairs are a bit very funny. Let's look at CAD yen. I might not be touching on all of them. CAD yen. Yeah, CAD yen. So with the move that we had on CAD yen, a whole lot has happened with this trade. Move we had on CAD yen. You can see how quickly things can change there. With the move that we had on CAD yen. So we told ourselves that this is with 5-1 and this is where 5-2 touched. 5-2 touched here, and we said that we are within with 3 itself, but we have not finished 5-3. So once we correct 4, then we go to 5-3. So now, looking at this, the internal structure of 3 seems to have been broken. With this. So it's one or two things that you might be seeing here with the card here. It's one or two things, because I will expect that everything that has to do with this 3 and its 04 will be inside of it. This is daily candle, will be inside of it. And for the price to have done this, two things will come to my mind. Are we done with 5-3, and the whole of 3 wave? Are we running with 4 down? Or is it like, okay, this is 3-3-1 and we want to correct 3-3-2? These are the possibilities, these are things that should come to our mind. But if you say this is 3-1 and this is 3-2 and this is 3-3, and that we are doing a 3-4 to run 3-5 to finish the 3, let's look at the possibility of this one being a wave 4 or okay 3-2, a big 3-2. When you finish the whole of 3 and you want to do 2, we are going to look at all those possibilities. But it still looks so much to me as if we are running a wave 4. But let's see if it's a wave 4 really. From this tip up here. So these are things that we have to be willing to trade. This one is, you have to be willing to trade all these kind of pairs. You must understand that if it does not agree with what you know, so I expect my 3, my 4 to stall here. And this does not have any, it doesn't make any sense for it to even break. If with 3 I'd ended itself ready and I'm doing 4, it shouldn't have broken this 5-1 here. That is one thing that has shown to me that, see, it is not what we think, because this Y51 had been broken to the downside. So now I will see that this is more like a 3 that is now correcting a major 3-2. And when that happens, you're going to run 3-3 to the upside. This is not what I should be expecting. So you have to be decoding from time to time what you are dealing with in this kind of a trade. You have to be decoding. So for me, I would rather prefer them to finish this wave properly now. So it has broken 3 and it has broken this 5-1 here. Then it is not what you think. I will now say that we are correcting the wave 2. So in that case, 3 is broken. So we want to see where we have a limit of 2. This is the limit of wave 2 now for this wave. Between here and between here is what I'll be expecting. Between these 2 points is what I'll be expecting, not lower than 99,600. And in between those points, 101,600 and 99,600, that's about 300 pips. No, about 200 pips. That is where I will expect that a move of a bigger structure. So on card yen, that is what I can see. This one is done away with. It has broken 8 and it does not make any sense to me anymore, So it's in between here, but this might be our A wave, and the B wave might be going up, then to come back to C. So let's allow this one to go up. If once you go up, the extent at which you are going to have a break to the downside will now tell us where this wave is going to be. So obviously, we are having a 3-2 to run 3-3 now. That is what it is. So it is not a 4. This one is just a bigger 3, which is not doing itself. This is a smaller 3, 1 and 2 of a 3. So this one is not completed. So it's just a bigger 3 that is still doing a 2 now. It's not completed, and it's going to run 3-3, which will be longer, than this in itself. It's going to be longer than this in itself. It's going to break the top once more. But this one, I don't expect this one going up to break the top. It should be running down any minute. So the only thing we can do to guide it is this. At this point, this turn is stop. I don't need this anymore. So we should just be more patient on what they are doing on yen pairs here. So once this one is broken, we should allow it to break upside to finish B. That's what I'm just appealing. This is not going to hold anything for me. It's not going to hold anything for me. There's no point using it. It's not going to hold anything for me because 50 is done with, and this wave here is done away with. So we are coming down. This one is just going to go a bit up. It can form a zigzag. It can be a zigzag. It can be a flat. It can be anything. But let's just don't just preempt it. Let it complete itself. And once it's coming down, all you need to do is to look for a trend line again, a 4-hour trend line, so that it's coming down. So if it's now coming down, we are going to now catch it. You calculate where it's going to come to for us to catch it. Of course, it could stall here, it might not break above. It could stall here, and we're going to go further down. So it's not possible. But for me, I would rather want to just connect this and see if price is going to compromise it. If it's going to make higher high, price will make higher high from here. Let me just change that color. Yeah. Price should make higher high above here to finish with B. So if this one is wave A and this one is wave, if B is completed up here, then I can easily fashion out where my C is going to be, and I will enter there to buy. So I want to buy. So let's be patient on card yen to buy. So that is what I'm saying. That analysis, that is what is giving us. The same thing might go for pound yen. For pound yen, I'll be ending soon. I've done about 1 hour already. I'll be ending soon. For pound yen, let's see. For pound yen, let's see. For pound yen, this is the correction I've broken out from. So it has just gone a bit above it. Has just gone a bit above it. It's gone a bit above it. Let's see. It's gone a bit above it before this move. So it still looks like a 3-1-2. If it's a 5 and a 2, a 5 and a 5-2, then we are doing 3. So it's more than a 4 now. Also, this one is more than a 4. We have to look at where the correction of this one is. So then I think it's a big 4. Yeah, it's a big 4. It's a big 2 that we're doing now. So we have done with the internal structure of a 3-1. this looks like, oh, the whole 3-1. So from here, from here to here is the whole 3-1. So this is 1 of 3-1 and the 2 of 3-1 and the end of the whole of 3-1 here. So we're not doing a 2 of that 3. So in that situation now, so we are looking at taking it from this low here, to come up here and to say we want to engage price. So it has broken 37, so that 7 is not holding anything again. So this is the area we want to engage price. These are the areas we want to engage price. 76 is still possible, and 85 also is possible. Where you don't expect price should not be making a flat from here if it's collecting 2. So 90 is out of the way, it's out of the equation for us. So that's what we are saying now. If it's otherwise, it's something else. So this is where you don't want price here, where you have the red line. So you can have price here and there. It has broken here. And, so for what is happening now, this might be our A. Don't need all this again. Don't need all this again. This might be our A. And these I expect to be our B, where it's going to get to. And our C coming around this zone. But B will tell us where. So I think let's just wait some more for more time. B is going to probably end soon and come back to C, and it's from that level. So it's when the wave is coming down that we should be ready to buy. So we are still going to do more upside on this. So that's what I can see. So this is A, and this is B going up. And let's see if, of course, this is broken. The trend here is broken for this. Let's see. It's broken already. That's how to do it. It's broken already. So it's broken already. So this is a correction. When you see things like this, it's a correction. You don't want to buy anything. These are not price action for buying anything. This is just correction. So you must know that from now on and now. So we need this one to be taken again because that is done. We need this one to be taken again. So that is all I can tell you to do now. Let's allow this one to be taken. So we need this one to be broken to the downside to patch away C to the upside. So that is what I'm appealing, or that's what I'm saying now. So when this one, which broke 61, it can return from here. So let's see. Let me use something new for this move here. The new move. Let me use something. The new move. We should allow it to break down. So for me, it's like a wave 2 of 3, 1. And that will now get us to like 3, 3, which is going to be longer. And we should be ready for that. Ready for that instead. So where is the price now in terms of correcting that wave A? Price is it's over 61. Can you get to? So that the levels I think you can get to because it's correcting. These are the levels you can get to. Some with this most up here. So these are the levels you can get to here and here. It can be anything really. 5, you can get to 90. It can be anything. This one can be anything going on. So you must know that it can be anything going up. So that's 70. So I don't want to jump in. Let it correct itself. It can even break beyond here. So you must know that it can break this wave up here and it does not mean anything. And so you must know by now how this thing behaves. It can break above, it can get to 90 and still extend down because it's correcting with 2. So this is probably the leg up here. So once it breaks the trend down here, we should be ready to do it. So even if you can even now trade leg C or down, or you can be patient to trade after finishing C, that is more reassuring for you to go up. Now, let's look at the last one, which is USD JPY. USD JPY is the last one. I'm just going to go inside my drawing. So, yeah, USD JPY is the last one. So, looking at this, I was expecting it to come a bit more down, and that was not the case. And of course, some of us closed here. This was the level, the initial level I gave us to exit. Price got there and raised back up. Some people exited here because I didn't change their TP or didn't sit on time, and price raised back exactly to the point it came. But for what the price is doing here, I see price still going further up in terms of trying to correct the whole of this. In terms of that's what I can see. I can see that this one might even go and break the top. It's a bit different what we are seeing on Euro USD and Euro JPY. It's a bit different. So we expect that this is what with 5 and 2, and this is with 3, and this one should be running. Yeah. It's still yeah. It can, just like Euro US that I told us, this may break the top, and if it breaks the top, then we'll see if this is with B going up, and we'll see it's going to give us an extension, and it will be to with 2 region here really. I think this one also wants to give us with 2, and after giving us a with 2, it's going to also pull up, or pull up deeper. That's what I can see. To finish with 3 of these 5, and 3, 3, 4, and finish. So this is more than with what we have seen on other yen pairs. I think it's still the same thing. So this is, though this one is pulling back at 38, but then I can know from other ones that it's going to go probably break the top and come more down. So how far can it go break the top? I don't expect it to return from 111. I don't expect that to happen, but it could be. But let's expect anything can happen. So, but it's going to still come to these levels. Let's see. Let's see from here. From here to what it has done before in terms of 2 is in between here. Then it will come to, that has changed now. It will come here and it will do this way. What this cannot now do, cannot break, is 127 for now. 127.3 for now. This is what it cannot break for now. But we should allow it to go up. What we want to do is to sell this for now. That's the best we can do. To sell this one for now. So sell it to these levels and look for another buy on the outside. So let's wait again. So we have not missed anything. What I'm expecting to happen here with this wave, if this one is with A and this one is going to be with B, and this one is going to come down to this level, This one has broken 90, so that is why I say it's going to go for that up. It has broken 90, so let me do something. Let me go on the lower time frame for us to see where we can engage this. So if you want to engage this, for me, it's not going to be a zigzag to the downside to engage this. This is completely out of the way. Now, 38 is taken, so yeah, we are going to see with 2. It's going to go further down. So, in terms of field retracement, for it to come down, now we are going to do this. So, this is, I'm not expecting it to fall from here. Let me take it here. I'm not expecting it to fall from here. I'm not expecting that to happen. I'm not expecting that to happen. Because this is one, I think it should not give us a price action here. Let me see. It should not give us a price action between this zone. Except you see one, this zone is not where I'm expecting a price action. I should be expecting a price action at this level of 123, and price also should go a bit higher. It can give us an extension if it's a B wave. I don't expect this one to go too much higher up anymore, from what I can see. From what I can see, it will be a good trade to the downside. So you can get to 141 here. You can get to 141 here. But I would rather want to also sell it from 137 to 130, 159. Yeah, but you can get to 141, which is 137,290. So, and I want to put my stop loss very tight, a bit of it here. So these are the levels I will expect this one. So in case it happens and plays out like that, let's see, because that will now change the new 3 to this one, and it will run down with 2. So it is going to now to run down with 2 to now make the 2, which is the last leg down, and this is A and this is B up here. This is the way to actually engage price. So in that situation, so let's see, it's going to be extended flat or running flat. It can't stop at 90, so it's going to break the top. That one is obvious to me. So if it's from here that we're going to come down, it should now be something like this, just like we had for your USD. These two, these to give us 1.3, and in that case, I'm going to be using green to see. Okay, I'm going to be using green to see where we're going to exit. So here will be the first TP. Okay, that will be a first TP. That will be a first TP. Now the second one, which is a possibility, is if it extends higher, and we are taking it from here down to this point. Then to this point also give us a second one. The second one will now be here. So now the second one will now be here around this point here. So in that case, let me now change this one to the first one for the first one here. And the second one, which is solid, also. Let me make this one solid. So we now know where we solid to solid. And so from this level to this level, or from this level to this level. So which one will make an appropriate fee at the end of the day? So to where the price came from initially. So let's see. Price came from this low. Okay. Price came from this low. So we're going to see this low. So from this low now, where would our 2 fall eventually? So our 2, if it gets to here, would, from that broken to broken, does not coincide with anything. So if it goes higher to this level, so yeah, all of them will still be falling. This will be 61. So no matter what, is going to push below 61 anyhow. So we might be seeing 76.85. So, but let's allow it to end itself. So, but these are the levels that we can think of engaging the price itself. So after it's now coming down, that is when we can now begin to find where C is going to, what I think is going to come down very hard. So it's not yet done. So let's see how we can catch this very early. How we can catch this very early is what we must be able to catch this move very early. The best is to first put our entries at those levels like this. So we can put our entries at those levels. So how many pips apart? How many pips apart? These are like 70 pips apart. So watch for what's going on. So with that, that ends this teaching. Watch the video. Don't forget so it's not with 4 that we're doing now on any yen pairs. It's with 2 that we're doing the downside. But let's see the completion of B wave and allow C wave to come down before you engage price. The limit of C wave is B wave is what we have discussed. Have a great week.